Why, hello there. Fancy you being here. It's Cosimo Solutions 8 here with your daily Google News. And today, Google announced that they're introducing continuous scrolling for mobile search. So what this means is when you get to the bottom of a page on a mobile device, Google's actually going to give you the second page automatically without you having to click next. They're going to do this up to 4 pages. And you can kind of see what that looks like here. It makes all the sense in the world. However, there are some impacts to us as advertisers. What this is going to do is increase the number of impressions possible for ads, because Google's effectively creating more inventory for themselves, which is actually kind of brilliant. However, they're also decreasing the number of ads that will be shown mildly, to a mild degree. So here's the documentation on it. Google goes on to say it does not affect how ad auction works or the way ad rank is calculated. We're redistributing the number of text ads. Now text ads can show at the top of the second page and beyond, while fewer text ads will show at the bottom of each page, which makes sense because the bottom of each page is no longer the bottom as they begin to refresh. Search shopping and local campaigns that serve ads may see more mobile impressions, which is what I just said. Not that I made that up. I read this article before the video, but you know what I mean. I'm just repeating something, which could result in a lower CTR. This is interesting. So especially for those of you using automated adjustments, I'd be really careful when changes like this are made, especially if you rely really heavily on mobile traffic, because you're going to see, this is one of the things that scares me about managing with bots, man, is, your CTR is going to drop, and then your weird little, Jarvis for Google Ads is going to go haywire and say, we need increased budget or whatever, increased bids. And really, in actuality, it's just nothing has changed except the way that Google is allowing people to interface with mobile content. We expect clicks, conversions, average CPC, and average CPA to remain flat. That I agree with. Here's what I question. Does not affect how ad auction works or the way ad rank is calculated. The inventory is changing, which means engagement is going to change. I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much on that. It feels like I'm reaching, actually. But this is kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool because Google is making a concerted effort towards a more seamless mobile experience. One of the things that I think Google has done poorly, that I actually think Apple has done really well, is Google hasn't done as good a job at integrating the experience of the Google Suite with the device. It obviously got a lot better when the whole world went responsive. I don't know. Do y'all remember before we were responsive? Like, does anybody? Am I that old? Where before, like, when the site that you were looking at did not resize to the device, like, that was nuts. And I remember when they rolled out responsive web design, I remember thinking, like, there's no way we're going to be able to do this. This is impossible because I'm an idiot. Google is still kind of like old world pre-responsive in the way that they deliver a lot of their applications and media. The thing that is always really interesting about Apple, all of you iOS users, I'm not one of them, although I do have what is it called, a MacBook Air, and I love it. I hate how much I love it. But Apple does a phenomenal job at making everything feel native. It all feels, that's the benefit they have whenever you combine software and hardware is it all feels like that it just works. Like it really does just work. Google's ecosystem feels very picture in a window frame. The frame is independent of the picture, and then whatever picture you're putting in the frame sometimes is a little bit disjointed. I think Google is moving more towards trying to make things feel connected and native. And I actually think that's a worthy endeavor because Apple's coming, right? Like Apple's going to roll out its own ad network, which we know for a fact is going to happen. We just don't know in what capacity. And if and when that happens, bet your bottom dollar that Apple is going to be native as hell in terms of their ad integrations. I have to assume that, and I'll actually make a whole other video on what I think is going to happen with Apple's ad network. But suffice to say that I like to see Google making changes like this. It feels like a nuance. It's actually really significant. It keeps Google sticky, and it keeps viewers looking at potential ad copy. To be honest with you, this is a blow to organic, and I think it's a positive for paid. Because if you're only on one page, you're going to scroll, and I see this, y'all. I don't know if you use True Conversion, Lucky Orange, Hotjar, whatever. But when somebody lands on a landing page, they scroll to the bottom because they're skimming, and then they scroll back up to whatever is most relevant to them. I have to imagine, I've never had Lucky Orange on a Google result page, sadly, but I have to imagine that Google search worked the exact same way. People scroll to the very bottom. Anecdotally, that's what I would do, and then I'd come back to the top and I'd find the result that was right for me. If you scroll to the bottom and keep going, now we have an additional at bat from an advertising perspective, but your organic content just got deprioritized again, which is kind of Google's. They just like sitting on that stump, man. They're just. It's so funny too because what makes Google phenomenal is its ability to rank organic content, and then they turn right around and they stab their darling. I remember I listened to a podcast which there's a clinical psychologist named Jordan Peterson who I really love, and he said that the best way to torture somebody is to punish them for their virtues, and it feels like that's what Google is doing with organic content. Anyway, kind of interesting. Let me know if y'all are seeing this and what impacts you're seeing. I shoot a video every day. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know we actually know what we're doing. We shoot a video every single day, so if you want to be notified, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any input, don't hesitate to hit us up in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We get very little human interaction. Thanks for supporting our channel, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.